the thing. You're still doing it. That's the important part.
Right? Yeah. Come over here. Okay.
My brother must have worked at 6 this morning because he was leaving at the exact same time I was. He worked because he still works at Meijer, and Meijer is literally across the street from the job I got after Meijer. So we were both turning at the light on opposite sides.
Yeah.
So we were just like awkward waves.
Hi, bro.
I was like, wait a minute, I know that truck. And I saw him staring at my car like, wait a minute, I know that car.
Right. Alright.
Trust me, you're gonna hate yourself for playing it later.
Uh-oh. Alright.
He's still playing the Hogwarts game.
Yep, he'll hate himself,
Yeah,
that's for
he's not
sure.
gonna like himself later. Later he's gonna be like, why did I fucking play this stupid fucking game?
I mean, I feel like if the story is that problematic and you don't immediately pick up that's problematic, you're probably just ignorant to the situation.
As someone who doesn't know how to spell, is galore spelled with an E at the end?
I can't spell to save my life.
Galore?
Yeah.
Yes, it is spelled with a
Galore.
Alright.
Yes. I am literally on a Word document, so I immediately just typed it in.
Yeah, no,
Type it
there's a
in.
reason I have Grammarly.
No
I
red
can't
lines.
spell.
I forgot Grammarly was actually attached to my shit, so it actually did tell me that it was correct. I'm just usually, like, questioning myself anyway.
I've always sucked at spelling. That's been, like, my number one horrid thing my entire life.
Me too! It made me bad at English for years. It made me think that I was terrible at English when I was a kid.
Yeah, because it kills your grade.
Yeah, because then you can't spell, and therefore you're bad at English, right?
Yup.
And so then you kind of, like, just internalize the idea that you're bad at English. Turns out I'm not actually bad at English, I'm just bad at spelling.
Yep, that was the exact issue I ran into. It literally hit the point where when I was in elementary school, everyone was like, oh, you're one of those people who's really good at math, not that great at English, and then it completely 180'd itself in high school. Like, I was in the AP college course for English in high school, and my math grades were C+.
Oh boy.
Like, I literally 180'd. I went from being really good at math and bad at grades in English to being really great at English and horrific at math.
I mean,
where are you going, buddy? You're going behind me. I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, I what was really hilarious was I had a...
Do you know how to drive, dumbass?
No.
The answer is no.
I
had
was
a
pulled over for
teacher...
an emergency vehicle, and he came up alongside me so I couldn't get back over.
What a douche.
I'm like, what the hell?
Come on, bro. But yeah, I had one of the dumbass, we had this real jackass of a teacher who was doing the, I remember it was senior year because I was in a study hall that I wasn't going to have to be in once all the schedules solidified because I could just go home because it was the 8th period study hall. And so I was in there, and somehow I ended up in a conversation with this man where I'm like, yeah, I'm just really bad at spelling. He goes, that usually means you don't read much. I'm like, I literally have a book in my bag that I'm reading for fun.
Yeah, shut the
right
fuck up.
now.
That has nothing to do with it.
No,
He's like,
literally,
what?
though, because I got the freaking plaque for the #1 reader in my grade one year.
Well, and what was really hilarious about the whole business was he was just like absolutely baffled. He was sure this was a truism.
Oh my god.
Just something that was true. If you have bad spelling, you don't read much. No, motherfucker. My grandfather is full-ass dyslexic, and I am not good at spelling. Just because I'm not good at spelling doesn't mean I don't know the words. I know plenty of words. I know all the words. I know crazy words. I don't know how to spell any of the fuckers, but I know them.
Dude, okay, so at one point, occasionally, it doesn't happen a lot, and it probably doesn't happen as often as it used to. Maybe, I don't know, you'll have to tell me. I know, like you said, I know all the words. I know, generally speaking, how to use the words, even if I don't know the exact like textbook definition meaning of words, right?
You can use your context clues and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And I just have an odd way, I guess, of thinking them in my head, so therefore occasionally when I'm allowed to talk too long, I speak in interesting ways. And I say that to say this. At one point while I was, working at the construction company that I was at, I said something. For the life of me, I have no memory of what it is. Probably because it is overshadowed by the fact that my coworker / friend at the time looks at me and goes, "What time period are you from?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I just can't believe you said that like that." And I'm like, "What? What did I say?" And I literally now, to this day, cannot remember what the heck I must have said that had her, looking at me all just, in shock.
Thought you were a vampire for a second, huh?
I guess.
Typically, from my experience and what people have told me who weren't crazy on the whole spelling equals reading thing is, if you read a lot, your vocabulary automatically expands itself, whether you realize it or not. And if you talk too long, that vocabulary will start to show itself.
Absolutely.
I have literally had instances where I had to reword what I said because I used words that the average human does not understand.
Yep.
Constantly.
I mean, I don't get the whole, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say that I don't usually have to part of the problem is that I don't usually have to reword my stuff because I read and read a lot. But my husband read more and he read more serious and larger quantities of things with varied words. So 95% of the time, I am around a person who knows more words than me. So being around people who know fewer words than me is kind of a weird feeling because and not to mention the fact that my fucking dad's a goddamn engineer, so he's got all sorts of weird words. So I've got a whole bunch of bizarre words in my lexicon, big words or obscure words. So I might accidentally use Sonder in a fucking sentence, and everybody around me looks at me like I'm a fucking weirdo. But I'm the feeling of not actually being able to understand another person's perspective fully because you're not that person. And they're like, "That's a word?" And I'm like, yeah,
yes, it is. Okay, don't mind me. I have to do some things with my deal.
Do some things with stuff?
Yeah, it's not connected. It disconnected again, so I have to do the thing.
Okay. But yeah, so I occasionally have to be I'll just be talking and I'll think that I'm completely understandable, and then it was really bad with my mom. My mom would always be like, "Okay, but what does that word mean?" And I'm like, "It means kind of like this." And she's like, "So why didn't you say that word?" Because I had to use 3 words to explain it to you. And that was a single word that means all 3 of those words, Ma.
Right.
See, thankfully, all of my friends were also avid readers, so I don't run into that issue with them. It's typically if I'm having a conversation with, someone at work or something.
Like normies.
Yeah.
I love the way you said it. Normies.
Normies.
I mean, for me, it's not so much the spelling or the definitions or anything, it's just how words are pronounced.
Yeah.
Because
even I feel like that's normal. Because I definitely do that too.
For 5 years, I thought parfaits were pronounced parfaites because nobody told me different. So I'd pronounce the damn T.
Well, it's also one of those things where if you learn words by reading them, and when you read them, you didn't know how they were pronounced, and now you use them because you read them, but then no one else around you has said them, then you think you're doing it right. Kind of like way back in the day when I read the Harry Potter books and I pronounced Hermione Hermione.
Hermione.
Right. Well, that is what it keeps tripping
There it
me up
is.
with.
Okay. Gosh darn. Sorry, don't mind me. My shit was reorganizing itself and I couldn't figure out where my menus were, so we were gonna be just stuck on the cam chat for like ever. And we were just gonna, I guess, talk and I'd show off my hair or some shit. Like, I don't know what we were gonna do, but we weren't gonna draw. Like
Oh, one moment. I'm in drive-thru.
Yeah, like, that's what keeps tripping me up with loose, is when I see the word, my brain says was. And when I think the character, it's loose.
Mm-hmm.
So these two things are apparently separate in my brain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah. I didn't get to see your cam, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Can I do the
yeah, I just had stars.
beef and cheddar meal as a large with a Jamocha
let's let her
shake as
finish.
the drink?
Milkshake.
Alright, did you want curly or sprinkle?
Curly, please.
Alright, and you said there was
Curly,
a
curly,
large
cute.
with a Jamocha shake, right?
Yep.
Anything else?
Can I just do a classic Reuben, just the sandwich?
Sure thing.
And that'll be it.
Nom
Right,
nom nom nom.
2074 people will be having over the window.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty.
Sorry, it's a little, evidently a little bit of a slow day. Hold on, let me get file stuff open. I'm gonna do some OG file stuff.
Noise.
I had a Necropolix from Tumblr / now on Instagram suggested a sketch idea of because when I had put the Hetty headcanons, you know, being that she's half Tritani, half witch, Necropolix was like, oh man, it'll be interesting when Hetty and Faust meet, and I'm like, that would be nice, because you know, in the original story, obviously that's not going to happen. In the Grandma AU though, and like any other AU really, because he'll be alive in damn near any other AU except for Time Flower.
You really went Faust is not allowed to die now in the other one.
Yeah, the only other one that he's quote allowed to die in is the Time Flower AU, because that's the point of Time Flower. But otherwise, no, he's alive and they're fucking married. Like, I don't care. But anyway, in the Grandma Terra AU, yeah, he would have survived. They got married and all this other good shit. And so yeah, he would have definitely met her. So no matter whether we just like put a theoretical out there for the original series versus, you know, the AU, it would be an interesting thing for Hetty to actually meet her other half, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what Necropolix was saying, like, you know, what would it be like if they met? And she's just like, I can just imagine Hetty just like staring up at him in awe, like actually meeting the you know, someone who's like her. Yeah, it'd be interesting, I'm sure.
That feeling of belonging that comes from, oh look, that me.
That's the other me. Also, I don't know if you got a chance to read much, but Katie, I think Farrell got to read it, but yeah, so I was cutting my hair and I was too lazy, occupied, or whatever to do the top, so
I did see that. You said you had like some sort of undercut going.
yeah, pretty much.
Wait with me.
Hold on.
Undercut, pals.
Pretty, yeah. I think mine is technically way more severe than yours, because it goes up to like the crown, basically.
Gotcha.
But and so like, but it's such, because I didn't touch the top, it's such that if I just let the top hang down and spread out, it just looks like my regular hair. So I'm not gonna be able to hear you guys when I do this. I need to shut my bathroom door. So hold on. Look at the stars a little bit longer.
I gotta open my phone.
Okay, anyway, so, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to hear you when I take my headphones off, but yeah. So, like, normal, right? But some of it's a little messed up because, you know, I can't get back there very well, but so basically, and then you can see how, like, this side is still, like, growing in from where I shaved it. But otherwise, like, when I just let my hair fall down, it just looks normal. So to me, that's what qualifies as an undercut, but I could be wrong. Someone will have to correct me.
Can someone else actually see her? Because I can't see her cam.
You can't?
I can't either. No.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see your cam this whole time.
Are you on
Me
Twitch
neither.
or are you on Discord?
Yes.
I'm on
So-
Discord.
I'm on both, and I haven't seen your cam.
Twitch is showing my camera.
Oh, there you are. It just hadn't updated.
You want any sauces?
Oh.
No, thank you.
Well, on Discord, it's not going to do it. I don't think. Hold on.
So I was-
Moment.
I had flipped over. I was on Discord, and I flipped over to Twitch. But it,
Ah, there's the camera on Discord.
for it to actually start showing on
Yeah.
Twitch.
We'll
And
get to
so
drawing
I
here
totally-
soon. Anyone else who's in the stream and not actually saying any, like anyone who's lurking, we'll get there. It's a little slow day today. It looks like though Twitch doesn't want to accept my, or Discord doesn't want to accept my camera. Because to me it's just loading.
Yeah, it's a blue ring of death for me too.
That's all I see, the loading screen.
Well, snap. Well, it's on Twitch. I'll send pictures later, I guess. Never mind that idea. That's annoying.
By the way, I'm sure it looks nice, hon.
So what I'm getting at is that literally no one saw that because of reasons. Okay. Is anyone who can watch Twitch, are you looking at Twitch?
I'm currently looking at Twitch right now.
Okay. I'll do it one more time.
Okay.
Right? Normal.
Well, it takes a second
Oh,
for
good
it to
shit.
for Twitch to catch up with what you're doing right now. So you're still talking with your headset on right now on Twitch for me. And of course, I've got it muted, so I have no idea what you're saying right there.
It is very annoying that the
Literally
Discord
just
camera won't
okay.
work.
So on the Twitch now, this is the delay. Just now, you said the thing.
Which thing?
Anybody who's watching Twitch, so it's like a full minute delay.
I wonder why.
There's that. Thank you.
That's weird.
Thank you. Have a great day. You too.
I love it, hun. It's super cute.
Yay.
It does still give me the problem I was talking about earlier.
Naturally. I would expect so. All the knobs. So that may not be staying, by the way. I literally was just like, I had other things to do and I was already tired of messing with my hair, so I was just like, fuck it. So it may not stay this way. Probably won't stay this way, but you know. Anyway.
That's fine.
So anyway, what am I doing now? Oh yeah. I was gonna draw
Yeah, we know.
Fausti being all himself and or badass. Cause no one like I haven't drawn him since this time, this sketch right here, right? And then the Draconic clothing, if you will, is just like really cool looking in my head. And obviously, having not drawn it, no one has seen it. So all you can do is take my word for it. And I'm like, well.
Having seen some of the clothes that you've made for things that I've asked for, I believe you.
Yeah. Although, now that I've started this, I have no idea what actual pose I'm going for here. So I'm just like, wait a minute.
Hold up.
What am I doing? Let's see.
Ugh.
Time for that liquid energy.
I have a milkshake, does that count?
Well, it's definitely liquid sugar. So that will provide some energy, that is for sure.
I hope I didn't leave my... Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, I hope I didn't leave my work shirt at home.
That would have been a big oops.
It would have been oopsies, and it would have been, hey, Barry, I'm going to turn this Star Wars shirt inside out because it's black, and we're just going to pretend I didn't do it, okay?
Hello, my love.
I figured that long-winded thing might be a bit validating for you.
I will read it as soon as I get a chance.
Perfectly fine.
Well, it was just, yeah, I read it all the way through. It was really cool. Yeah. Yeah. It was a very, very reasonable thing. I liked it. Thank you, baby.
That baby alpaca was so goddamn weird, though.
It looked like somebody had gotten a whole bunch of roving wet and was trying to dry it in the fucking sun.
Because I saw the animals nearby, I thought it was a picked clean corpse or something, or like part of one.
It looked woolly to me, so I wasn't thinking corpse. And then they moved it, and I was like, and then it moved afterwards, and I was like, aminal.
If anyone's wondering what they're talking about, there was a video that they found of a newborn alpaca, and
very newborn,
right there, fresh, bam, it just came out, and yeah, that was kind of disturbing. That was a bit disturbing to look at.
I've never seen a newborn alpaca. I've seen newborn cows and newborn goats.
Oops.
Elephants have boobs.
Really?
Yes.
Did you just say elephants have boobs?
Elephants apparently have tits.
That they do.
Yeah.
I knew that they had teats, but they have boobies.
Yes.
People boobies.
Yeah.
And I did not know that they had people boobies.
You are now aware.
Now aware of the fact that elephants have people boobies. I'm not sure how I feel about
Elephants
that.
have breasticles.
Well, I expected that elephants would have their teats in the hind end.
Nope, it's in the front end.
Like
Like
a
horses,
horse or
yeah.
a deer. Okie dokie, thank you, dear, because I guess I need to see elephant boobs.
And breasticles.
Actually, wait.
Breasticles?
Wait. Eh.
I was not expecting that.
I mean, I guess. I mean, part of the reason I think why deer and horses have it in the back end is because their body kind of lifts up there, and that gives them more room for that to exist. But I was not expecting two tits.
Boobies.
Boobas.
Two straight up boobies.
Boobas. The boobas.
Yeah, I understand. I think that's just because that particular skin has been swelled, and so they I'm pretty sure that they don't have like 24/7 tits. They're actually a little bit more like see, you know, when they're breastfeeding, they actually have boobs.
I hate all of this. Bye.
Kind of.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Hello, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, honey.
Now I'm sitting there going, I just know the perverts are seeing this. I just like the idea that me and the perverts are viewing the same material.
Love you, babe.
Is he okay?
He's probably not.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, he is a little bit bothered. He's like, what the hell, man?
It's not like I'm even switched on or anything. I'm just kind of like, I'm ready to... Oh, God.
Okay, but that's funny.
Oh, God.
That was funny.
Right? Ladies and gentlemen, my husband is hilarious.
Big buddy.
You are... that's unfortunate for you, my love. Because you're hilarious.
Literally hilarious.
I need to not ask him questions, because if I ask him questions, he'll give me answers.
I'm guessing that's an answer you didn't want to see.
No. Yes, I know what you're talking about. That's the game, right?
Yeah.
That's with 2B and yeah, okay. What company is he using? Is it the sex doll company?
I don't know. I'm just going, why though?
Because people need to abuse some robots, apparently.
Funny is there's not a lot of information, so it's unclear whether or not it's going to be a bust or if it's going to be a life's a full statue. And going, what?
Yeah?
Why would you make a 5'5" statue?
Well, dear,
And I'm sitting there going, what are you making it out of?
that is my point exactly.
Oh boy.
I've existed on the internet as well, yes. Well, sweetheart, my thought immediately was, oh, hey, I remember the whole thing with the, you can send the specifics and make a one-to-one scaled doll of yourself.
Ew.
Resin doll.
Ew.
So, like, not even like something squishy where there could be shenanigans. No, just resin doll.
The fact that it's resin ruined that brings a whole new meaning to go fuck yourself joke.
Right? Exactly.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say it this time.
This
Like,
time.
I was trying to be restrained. The fuck's wrong with
For
y'all?
once.
For once.
Ama nama nama.
Nom 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 nom.
Num num num.
Nom.
But yeah, there are other materials it could be made with that cause me more concern.
Having to do so many corrections to my own fucking shit. And this isn't even, like, final size, either.
What I really love about that picture with him and Tara is how you put Tara's tendril over top of his. That is the cutest fucking thing. I love it.
Oh, yeah. She wraps those things around his horns and shit all the time. That's what I thought. Okay. I had to double check myself. I'm like, I made his hand like literally the length of his forearm when it's fully stretched out, right? Yeah, of course I did. Because that's exactly what they do.
Because reasons.
I'm hoping we're dead because I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I can't blame you none.
My financial crisis was averted. I no longer need money like crazy. I don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
I mean, fair cop.
Bloop. I think that was my other problem, was trying to fit literally all of him into this picture, and how? Because he's fucking big.
This isn't even my final form.
For real, though. And I may have even... And the real funny part is just how big their arms are. And really their upper body compared to, like, their hips and their legs. Which, let's be real, might be the only reason that it's possible for them to mate with witches. But anyway... Anyway. Oh, what do I have? Do I not? Oh, I have... Whoops, I have the pencil, not the thing that I actually needed. But enjoy this view of the skeleton that I'm working really hard on.
Skelly, bro! Get that
My brain just went the owl house, creating a whole new generation of monster fuckers.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's great. Part of me wishes, like, genuinely, that I could petition for this to somehow be canon. Because maybe I wouldn't want that, just because the Dratani are my babies, but, like... I fucking love it. Damn, I should have done this on a vector layer so I could move that line instead of redrawing it all over again for no good reason. Because do I really need to? Yeah. At the very least, it will always be fan canon. Let's just, be happy about that, I guess.
We have our fanon. At this point, the whole fucking show is fanon to us, let's be real.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Fanon became canon the moment Bellos possessed Rain.
Yeah, pretty much. There's still some stuff that I could say that I'm not going to say. But it's a little eerie.
Mean?
We'll put it that way. It's just eerie. It's eerie. It's some eerie shit.
I don't like that.
Thank God Rain is fine. Rain is fine.
Are they?
We already know that, though?
They fucking will be.
Did I miss the episode?
So theoretically, I believe that Rain should actually be just fine because very specifically, the Collector has essentially put people in stasis. Like, we get that from the book that he has King read, is that they are in 100% stasis. They are preserving it. That's why he's the Collector. And so, theoretically, there shouldn't be, he should at least be able to put Rain back to how he was when he collected him once Belos is out of there. But that is my brain going, he collects, he's a collector, he would need to keep his stuff in pristine condition, and therefore should be able to, if once he figures out that Belos is in there, eject Belos from Rain without having to actually alter Rain at all.
Well, I'm not worried about the collector altering Rain. I'm worried about, look at what the fuck happened to Hunter.
That is exactly my point, is that he should be able to remove Belos without, because what happened with Hunter was they pulled Belos out.
Belos left himself after Flapjack. Well, no, even before Flapjack.
They pulled on him some.
Yeah.
Which caused...
But I think what happened is that Belos absorbed part of him so that he could hold a solid form long enough to find another body.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I would
I'm not
say...
so much worried, like, about Rain being, like, physically damaged. Well, that's not true. In terms of, like, not gonna make it out of this, but I feel like it would be a massive cop-out for Rain to come out of that fully unscathed.
Yeah, definitely not unscathed. Maybe a scar or two, or, well, he's definitely gonna have some mental trauma, but maybe just a few scars.
But...
that depends entirely on how the collector stuff works.
True.
I mean,
That's what she's trying to
like...
say, because of the way, basically, they've been turned into inanimate objects. So...
No, I know that. I get what you're saying. I feel like if said inanimate object was to, say, be damaged, it would inevitably still be damaged if the collector were to undo the spell.
Yeah. I understand that. I think there's a good chance that, the reason that Hunter got so damaged by Belos being inside him is because Belos didn't want to leave, and it wasn't so much so that he chose to leave as it was he realized that he wasn't going to be able to hold on because Hunter had too strong of a personality. Currently, Rain has no personality to fight back with.
This is true. Oh, I read a really interesting fanfic about how that might get fixed earlier.
Oh?
Basically, it basically followed the same fundamentalist theory that I have, that's going to involve Ida and feelings. But then they proceeded to say that they think the full circle, and I agree with them, ultimate way to, like, permanently defeat Belos would be with the only irreversible spell we have seen in the series, which is petrification. Because Luz accidentally discovered the petrification glyph, and in the Season 1 finale, Ida was almost petrified. In the Season 2 finale, Luz was almost petrified. So if Belos was petrified in Season 3, it would bring it full circle.
That's fair.
Point.
And goodbye, Goopy Man.
Goodbye, Goofy
Goodbye,
dude.
Mr. Goofy Man.
Fucking finally.
And then Raven's gonna have their good wife.
I kind of want to
Because they
see.
deserve their good. I'm sorry. You kind of want to see that.
I just kind of want to see Rain and Etta and everybody else pretty much after everybody is undollified or whatever you want to call it. I want to see them reacting to Tara's outfit.
Tara's
Oh my
outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Or
good.
just have a brief, even if they're still, like, dollified, just have a brief moment of Ida, like, finding Tara, because Tara's not with the other heads right now, and just being like, what the fuck? Like, that's what the collector doing.
Like, what
Also,
the hell?
if collector redemption arc becomes...
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if collector redemption arc becomes a thing, and he, like, gets his redeem and needs, like, a guardian or whatnot, another fic I read was like, it's gonna be the adults, arguing over whether or not A, he's redeemed enough, B, is even redeemable, and C, who should have guardianship. And they're like, and the only guardians he's had so far were fucking Bellows and Odalia Blight.
Yeah. Sounds
Has
like
already been proven to be a poor guardian.
I'm pretty sure that the Collector has his own set of traumas from all that shit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for him to realize that Rain is technically Bellows, because he's gonna freaking... I genuinely do believe that that's gonna be the catalyst to set off the, like, climax, is that the Collector will figure that out, because we all know the Collector does not trust Bellows.
The Collector is going to be fucking pissed if he finds out Bellows is whispering in his ear again.
I hope he
exactly,
does,
that's what
quite
I'm
frankly.
saying. Like, I feel like that'll be the catalyst to make the Collector undo everything, is when he realizes that it's been Bellows manipulating him.
Any amount of
Because it'll
time.
probably be him realizing that he was being manipulated to where he might actually listen to King, which will probably offset the end. Because if no one else, we know that he has compassion for King, because we could see that in the final shots of the episode.
Well, and also, we kind of know what happened to the other Titans. I want to know what happened to the other I want to know how the other Collectors got away. Because
I'm almost
obvious that
wondering-
there's more Collectors.
Yeah, it's obvious there's more Collectors, and that this one isn't like the other.
Yeah, it's like he literally is a child compared to the other Collectors, which, someone was going on about how, like, it was completely unfeasible to say that the Collector's actually a child, just a childlike personality. And based on what you can see, yeah, the Collector might actually just be a child. Like, if you consider the fact that you're dealing with a godlike species of people, then it's entirely possible that they age so fucking slowly, Or just not at all in the way that we do.
King. Because if you think about it and how King's aging actually is, yeah, he's 8 right now, but he's the size of a fucking small dog. And also, if he was able to hear his father's voice while he was still in his egg, but his father has been dead for how many fucking years? At least hundreds? How long did it take him to hatch?
Exactly.
Right?
So, like, it's very plausible that that is in fact the case, and they just age super fucking slow. And someone else has pointed out the Collector clearly has something against, like, authoritative figures in certain instances, which could indicate, like, I didn't really like what my parents were doing.
Yeah.
Well, and he already very clearly, like, he has what is effectively a storybook telling him how he's supposed to act, that he didn't like the way that he was supposed to act.
He scribbled out the bottom. Yep.
Skip to the
Yeah,
part
that's the first thing that I picked up on. Yeah, he's like, no, I fixed it. I just want to play games. I don't want to burn the fucking world.
Well, and he's like, I want to make friends. So I made friends instead. It's like, it's kind of heartbreaking.
Exactly. No, I really do genuinely think the Collector is just super lonely, doesn't want to be alone, wanted to make friends, and has no fucking idea what that actually means. Hence the basically holding King hostage and turning everyone into puppets, because in his mind, he's made friends.
Well, I also kind of noted that, like, there is the thing about, preserve the mortal type thing that gets said in the book, which is obviously what he's done by turning the other humans who attacked him into dolls. Because they're preserve the mortals, but once they meddle in our affairs, they attacked him. Instead of destroying them, he turned them into dolls, so now he's collected them, and they're not messing with him, and he's made himself friends. It's just this kind of very childish interpretation of the rules that he has. And
Well, I'm also wondering, because we saw the other disc on the other side of the world that was already broken.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, excuse me, if the Titans managed to steal all of the collectors and he was the last one and the discs are broken, in which case the collectors are supposed to then now be destroying the world, but the only one that could get out was him. Because technically in that case, even if the Titans are long-lived, they are technically a type of mortal, quote-unquote. So in that instance, the world might already have been supposed to burn.
yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe that was
Ouch.
a do-all, end-all in-game, which is why the Titans sealed him away.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the last episode is. But once I have the last episode, that is likely when all of the fan cannons are going to get pretty... I'm actually going to start engaging with, like, possibly doing stuff. I haven't had any desire to actually write anything for this particular fandom. But I guess that's because I haven't felt there was any... I didn't have any need to write anything for it.
I mean, some fandoms just don't
that's fair.
speak to you in the terms of wanting to write for them. Like, for example...
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I've been in many a fandom over the years that I may have read for them, but I didn't write for them because I didn't have the inspiration to write for them.
My big one like that was Steven Universe. I literally have no desire to read fanfic of Steven Universe or write for Steven Universe. I just genuinely really enjoy that series as it is, and I don't want to... Sure, there's questions I'd like to see answered, but those are questions I literally would like to see answered by, like, Rebecca Sugar and stuff. Like, for whatever reason, I just feel no desire or need or spark to do anything extra for that series at all. And for whatever reason, like, you know, you can see, like, a million different AUs for a fandom, you know, and just be like, oh, that's neat, that's neat, that's neat. And, of course, an example is Strange Magic and you know, here, Owl House, right? But, like, for Steven Universe, that's one of those things that whenever I see, like, an alternate AU thing, I'm kind of like, no. So, just, like, sometimes you just have those fandoms that are just hit your brain the way they do, and they're fine the way they are, for lack of better way to say that.
Honestly, for all the anime I've written for, most anime I view that way. I'm like, I don't need to touch this because I like it as it is.
Yep.
There's kind of like a delicate balance for me between, I like this and I don't like this, where I want to write. So, like, if there's too much wrong with it, I just want to throw it at the sun. So, as much as, like, the one that tends to kind of pop up in my brain for this particular and the don't like this is, as much as I loved a lot of the visuals with Jupiter Ascending. The visuals were fantastic. There was some little, like, tidbits that I could really glom onto because, you know, here I am, I'm a monster fucker, and she's like, I love dogs, to the guy who apparently has canine DNA, and I'm like, oh honey. Oh honey.
Yeah. That's a little,
You have
Well,
any
it is
idea
going.
of the thing that you just said.
what was that, Farrell?
I said, well, I know where that's going.
I know, right?
I'm just like, oh honey, that you do not know what you just said. But like, I tried to figure out a way for me to actually enjoy it, and the basic story that's going on there has so many things where I'm just like, bees follow her because she's a queen. Because they instinctively know she's a queen. Are you fucking joking me?
Nope.
And the whole him having, like, slightly pointed ears, didn't even give him fangs. And I'm like, come on, guys. Give him some fucking sharp eye teeth. Make him hairy, like Christ on a fucking crutch. If you're gonna say that he's a fucking dog, at least give him some goddamn dog traits.
Right.
Piss, man.
Okay, I thought you said give him dog treats, and I'm like, why?
Traits. I said traits. Yeah, like, and then the entire creepy sibling thing was really cool, but also really, 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 like, excuse you? Like, you know genetics don't actually work that way, right? Like, they just don't work that way.
Oh, I'm confused. What was going on with the genetics?
She's not actually related to any of them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because the whole
They're all
reincarnation
supposedly
bullshit.
her kids, and she's supposedly their mom, and you know, they're supposedly her kids. She's supposedly their mom, but she's like not in any way, shape, or form.
Like, the premise, I guess, is that genetic code will organize itself, you know, as it does based on whatever, right? And then at some point you will get a combination that will recur, aka
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She could be an exact genetic replica of their mother.
but she's not
That doesn't
actually
make her their mother.
Yeah. Well, and that was the whole thing that she ended up, you know, finally, like, saying or something out loud, like, at the end when she was, like, kicking what's-his-face's ass. Like, I'm not your mother! Like...
Like, the fact that they have apparently, like, this is something that they're claiming, like, that is for sure a thing. And I'm like, that is... If you are so fucking technologically advanced that you can do the things that are happening in this movie, how can you not fucking know fundamental truth that this is a different individual? It doesn't matter that the genetics are exactly identical, because two identical twins are not the same person. Have identical genetics. They are genetically identical. They are the same person genetically. They're not the same person. It just doesn't work that way. And so that whole business, like, just irritated the monkey piss out of me. So, it was like, I really wanted to be able to play in that kind of crazy world, but the thing was I was going to have to throw away so many aspects of what was there that I just threw my hands up.
You're like, nope, ain't happening, fuck it.
Eventually, I was just like, at this point, there's not, like, okay, I'm going to keep this as an artifact of an idea that I started to have, and then just put it in the box in the corner, and if I need it for something else, I'll pull it back out. But this is not going to happen because I do not have enough mental space to try and turn that pile of garbage, because I don't know whether or not the books are super great. I don't know if all of my problems go away if you actually, like, watch it more than once. I've only watched it once. I'm not gonna watch it again. Didn't like it well enough to watch it again. Really pretty, but just not my scene type thing. It's like, that was just, as far as I was concerned, that was just a box of parts that just, there were too many bad parts.
Right.
Whereas I mean, honestly, as much as I love Strange Magic, I will be the first to admit that Strange Magic has got a lot of garbage parts in it. Like, that you can definitely see all the seams on that shit. There are definitely some fucking problems with Strange Magic. But it had
Strange Magic
the
needed
right
to be a
parts
series.
for me. What was that?
I said Strange Magic needed to be a series, not a movie, to get everything across, right?
It really did. And really, it just also should have been handled a lot differently. But
There are
Yeah.
a lot of things that would have made Strange Magic better. Like, one of the things that absolutely just buggles me is how fucking close in idea and scope and a bunch of other like little things Love and War really was.
Love and War is a fanfic for
Yeah, Love and War
Strange Magic,
is
by the way, for anyone who doesn't know.
if you're looking to get into Strange Magic, I do suggest, if you want to read something that is just downright fucking amazing, read the Strange Magic fic Love and War. It is absolutely phenomenal.
I think I read that one, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh, if you
You're gonna
if you
love
get
it.
a chance to read it, it is worth the read. I've reread it a couple of times, and I'm not the sort of person who likes to reread stuff unless it is my absolute favorite. And it is a huge long fic, and it is amazing. I was really upset that the person who started to do the podfic of it stopped at like chapter 6 or 7. I don't remember which it was. And so I ended up, like, I was going to download all of the podfics onto my phone so that I could listen to it while I was driving occasionally. And it didn't happen. So I was really annoyed by that. But yeah, like, Love and War has a whole bunch of the same beats. Like, everybody from the movie is exactly the same person that they are in this fic. Like, there is no questionable characterizations. They are pretty much exactly who you expect them to be if you watch the movie before you read the fic. And I didn't. I watched the movie after I read the fic. So I ended up getting to go. I was sitting back going, okay, it was a fic. I know that that's not necessarily how this is going to go. And then I was like, ow, that is almost, like, despite the fact that these are not the same story, they're not the same thing, that is shockingly close to what's actually in the movie, but better.
very much so.
See, I'm amazed at people who can read for a fandom that have not already been familiarized with that fandom.
It's the only fandom I've ever done that with, and it was because the writer is somebody who I consume their stuff, like, so hard.
Okay, that's fair. I just know,
that
like,
is amazing.
Yeah, I just know my friend Abigail will read for shit that she's never seen, and I'm like, how the hell? I'm like, I gotta at least be familiar with the characters.
I mean, that is a big portion of why I like reading fanfic, is because I know who the characters are going to be, and I know who I generally want to root for. Like, I'm perfectly happy to have there be surprises and shit, but generally speaking, I know at least where the characters are going to start.
Right.
If not where they're going to finish. And particular thing is because I knew that I wanted this particular dynamic or thing like that. So, like, I read Strange Magic stuff, I read Megamind stuff, and then I read a few Marvel things, but I read very specific read very specific pairings and I read very specific fandoms, largely because I have found myself growing intolerant of some kinds of shenanigans as I grow older. So there are some things that I'm no longer willing to have to wade through to get to the thing that I wanted to read.
Mm-hmm.
That's valid. I've run into that too.
I'm definitely one of those, like, ever since I found out about what's going on with the actual Inuyasha fandom, all of the stuff I read, despite the fact that I don't like Kagome, like, I genuinely do not like the character. I still read, like, most of what I read is Kagome Shishomaru stuff, because that stuff is far enough away from where the problems lie in the actual show, and so, like, if it starts off and there's a sit command within the first within the first 3 paragraphs, that just gets yeeted into the sun. I'm not interested in watching Kagome physically abuse who is ostensibly her boyfriend. I'm just not here for it.
I grew up watching Inuyasha, and I just now realized, as you said that, how problematic that dynamic is.
Dude, like, seriously, if it weren't for my husband, there's a whole bunch of things that I would not realize were so fucking problematic, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's a whole swath, especially of ones that were written in the 90s, where the dynamic between the female lead and the male lead is she physically abuses him. There's a whole bunch of them. Kagome does that. I know in Full Metal Alchemist,
Winry.
Like, she just, like, fucking smacks him and shit.
She beats him with a damn
I
wrench.
will say with Full Metal Alchemist, yes, Winry did that, but it was not to the extent of, say, like, Kagome, and I always always took that one more as a slapstick as opposed to actual abuse, because they always did it in the slapstick, like, old cartoony style.
Yeah, I understand the seeing it as the slapstick, but after you kind of, like, when you've suddenly woke up to the fact that, like, a lot of the things that you never thought about before, then it becomes kind of like a sore spot. So, guys getting hit by women who are supposedly their romantic interest is a sore spot for me, and so it's something that I notice every time and am never really happy about, type thing.
That's valid.
So Kagome is hands down, of the ones that I have watched and actually enjoyed, the worst. And she's just, like, it's played for comedy, like, that's supposed to be funny, and that has always, like, ever since I realized that was not actually cool, that has been a thing that irritates me about Inuyasha. Like, that is the first and foremost thing that irritates me. I love the demon designs. I love a bunch of the, like, lore stuff that's around it. I love the over the top, screaming out your attacks thing, and that sometimes that gets a little bit subverted because somebody starts to scream out their attacks and then the other character manages to counter, and so it screaming out your attacks wasn't helpful, and all this stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I really enjoy about Inuyasha, but the relationship dynamics are kinda garbage. It's not just Kagome who's in there smacking her significant other. Oh, sorry. I want to. No, go away.
For anyone
know
who's
what you're-
paying any attention to what I'm doing, there's going to be 2 collars. There's going to be this one, which is just sort of like a basic that he wears, and then I'm going to do the marriage token collar. Because,
Okay.
fuck yeah.
Woo.
beans. But yeah,
I'm not
like,
even lining
Kagome
yet, and I'm sitting here
and-
like, this line needs to be perfect. Like, what the fuck?
But the whole Moroku and
That one I always saw as problematic, even as a little teen, like tween.
what's really terrible is like I like the 2 characters significantly more, but I understand the reasoning behind them being the way that they are. He is purposefully, like, it's pretty clear, it was always pretty clear to me that he is purposefully being a pervert at her and doing this devil may care thing because he feels like he can't get attached to anybody, and so that's why he does it. He's actually goading her to dislike him and attack him and not frustrations, and not become attached to him. And she is falling into a trap that he's setting, as opposed to being a thing where they're actually like in a relationship. They're pretty specifically not in a relationship, and she keeps kind of like wanting to be, and he keeps going, yeah, that'd be great. So that was always one of those things where I understood the fraught nature of their particular relationship as, yeah, it's not healthy, but it's not healthy on purpose. And therefore, as a narrative, I liked that a lot better, is that he is intentionally ensuring that their relationship is garbage so that he doesn't get attached to her and she doesn't get attached to him, so she won't be hurt when the inevitable happens, you know?
Yeah.
I always saw that as him being good-natured but self-sacrificing. Whereas the whole business with Kagome and Inuyasha, that was never... there was never any, like, good-natured feelings about what it was that they were doing. She is genuinely upset with him over his words.
Stupid shit.
Stupid shit. Like, it's one thing for her to sit him when he is genuinely about to kill her. That is decidedly one thing. It is another thing when he pisses her off by saying something she doesn't think he should say.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's like I've never
Thank
really
you.
been a particular huge Kagome fan, because I always saw her as kind of petty and was very frustrated by that. And always liked Shishomaru because, you know, Paul's scary monster boy. The monster. That is my flavor. So I'd always kind of liked him, and so those two ended up being. That?
Alright. Okay, I just walked into work, so I gotta bounce.
Okay.
All right.
Later
Alrighty.
on.
Good luck.
See you later.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
Make sure you send me the finished stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
But you were talking about Shishomaru?
Yeah, I always had a bit of a thing for Shishomaru because I guess dangerous was just always kind of my kink. Regardless of whether or not that was in any way, shape, or form a healthy thing. And I almost always end up gravitating towards the bad guy. It's just a thing that I do. Especially if there is a noted or notable situation where they're kind of like, where the bad guy's like, maybe not so bad. then I'm just like, yep, okay, we're focusing on this. That's cool. So I always kind of had a thing for Shishomaru, and it's like the option that was originally the obvious option was Rin, but she is obviously too fucking young. And it used to be that I would do things like age her up or have her go to the modern era and have things happen, you know, mostly in my head, because at the time I wasn't publishing anything anywhere. I didn't have a live journal or I wasn't on fan fiction, which is probably for the best. But I have a few old stories that I wrote for myself that were Shishomaru Rin. And then I also have several old stories that I wrote for myself that are Shishomaru OC. And I have some newer ones of those because, fuck, why not? But once they actually confirmed the whole Shishomaru Rin thing, that was the point at which I was like, okay, but no, like it's one thing for me to look at that and go, okay, I understand this is problematic, but whatever. It is another thing to have it be officially condoned and go,
well, and see, the thing
yeah,
is you were aging her up.
It usually was, but the thing is he is still so much older. Like,
well, and see, that's the problem between like human and not human relationships. He's always going to be so much older.
Yeah, but the thing that bothered me was, you know, the thing that I had always also kind of hand waved away him acting as, oh, good lord, no, I don't want to actually talk to you. Thank you. The thing that I'd always done was I kind of separated the sort of fatherly thing that they did. So he didn't act as her father or anything like that. And so there wasn't the relationship wasn't an established relationship of them as kind of parent or sibling and younger sibling or child. And so that was the part where I kind of like cut it off. And the show very much so said, oh, he pretty much decided that she was going to be his little wifey, so he dropped her off at the village so he didn't raise her any further. And it was just kind of a...
Ew.
And then she and Kagome end up with children the same age. And Kagome is like 8 years her senior. So he didn't wait much past there's grass on the lawn.
Yeah.
And that is where things kind of got the dicey, that I was like, okay, what I was doing was probably questionable, but I can accept that I know that what I'm doing is questionable. It is another thing entirely to go, oh, there was grass on the lawn, and this was normal for that time period. And the problem is it was normal for that time period. Hell, it was normal to raise a wife. And so that brings up all of the kind of really gross things that would happen in that time period. And I was just like, you know what? Kind of no. That's kind of a big nope for me. So I ended up just abandoning any of the old stories that I had started that had Shishomaru and Rin in it. I still read some of the AUs occasionally when I'm in the mood to have to slog through the stuff that actually goes with canon, and being that I can't quite stomach canon, the stuff that goes along with canon. I don't want to see it. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot barge pole. So it does make things a little bit interesting trying to wade through that. So I just usually stick with the Kagome stuff, and for the stuff that I actually write, it's usually OCs. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't remember where I was going with that whole business, but
we were originally talking about like fanfic or series and fandoms that we have no desire to like write anything for.
Yeah,
that's where that started.
And then that kind of just turned into my whole, I have certain things that like I like parts of, I don't like all of, and so AU country, here we come.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of where I am on Inuyasha. Is like, there's so much cool crap in Inuyasha. I love the way that they design their demons. I love a lot of the silly shit that goes on in that series. I just have fallen very much so out of love with a good portion of what is actually canon.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's kind of a I grew up thing.
And it aged poorly.
Oh, yeah. Aged like milk. At least for me. I understand that other people might have different things that squick them out. Maybe part of the reason why this bothers me so much is because I've got 2 kids of my own, and like a lot of that stuff is and they're both boys, and so the idea that it's okay for boys to get hit by girls is now something where I'm like, you want to try, bitch? Yeah, it just aged poorly for sure.
It's like when you're a kid and watching Danny Phantom and you don't realize it until you're an adult that, oh hey, this kid literally died at 14.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and isn't there like some sort of thing where he's actually like, I never actually watched Danny Phantom, so I only know like a few tangential things about it. Isn't he like trying to hide the fact that he died from his parents?
Well, because they're ghost hunters, and so.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
Now he's the king of the ghosts. Yeah, that's great.
He's a ghost. Yeah.
So
they try to say he's half of, but honestly, it looks more like he's dead and just possessing his own body.
Right. I have a friend of mine, Cookie. You've probably seen her on the server, but Cookie is currently big into the Danny Phantom thing.
Oh, is she?
And very much so entertained by the Danny is an adult, is like a big beefy dude.
Yeah, there's like this thing where he like goes to the future and sees himself in the future, and there's like a whole bunch of shit that happens with that. Don't worry too much about it.
But apparently she is big into the look of the older Danny, and apparently he's a bit of a hard ass. So he's like, Cookie is just like, yes, this. So she went and showed me that, and I'm like, yes, I understand now. Yes, I see why you like this. Because she and I are both into the whole, I'm little and he's big, which is funny because we both have very tall husbands and are very small. At least in my dumpling-sized. I'm very short, but I'm also very round.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, I'm also slutty.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, I mean, I'm very slutty for my husband, yes.
I had a mark on the tip of my tongue, and then you changed it.
I'm very much so dumpling-shaped. I'm his dumpling. Yeah, so she and I are both kind of... Yes, please. When it comes to the big old dudes. Itchy ear. Quiet ear. Oh my gosh, it's 4 o'clock. I should probably put you guys on the headset and go upstairs and start cooking.
Probably.
Have fun.
I don't know what I'm gonna make for supper. And that means that I have to figure out what I'm gonna make for supper. And I still haven't gone to the store because we get paid on Wednesday. So, trying to put it off till Wednesday, but we have a bunch of things that we're out of. It is making life difficult. It's like we have loads of food, it's just whether or not anybody actually wants to eat the food that we currently have.
Yeah.
So I have to figure out ways to make food that people will eat. Which can be a little difficult. There we go. Now I can carry you guys around.
Yay.
Means I'm first going to the freezer. Wow. Oh, hey. Hi. Ooh. Do I have a bag of cheese in here? If I have a bag of cheese, wait, this one's a whole bunch. Okay, so we do have a bag of cheese. Only have the one though, right? Not the fries. We have a bunch of chicken. Holy shit, we have a bunch of chicken.
Chicken is good.
Yeah, I just don't know what I would do with it because, well, we've got cheese. I have chicken and cheese. What do I want to do with chicken and cheese?
If you got noodles, you can make chicken Alfredo.
See, that's the problem, is I don't have noodles.
Oh boy.
We ran out. Do I have what?
Flour. You can make your own noodles.
You know how people have, like, executive dysfunction and stuff? I could totally cook stuff that requires me to dump it into a crock pot. And totally cook things that take time and effort and skill. There are a few things that brain just go and making noodles or pie crust are one of those things that brain just go, no, we don't do that here.
Okay.
So I have, not to mention, I don't think I've actually got that much flour. I think I've only got one little bag of flour, so. And I also have a moose to feed, so.
I'm gonna take a pause real quick because speaking of food, I got a nom on some nuts.
Okay, so I have thighs in this one, and what are those? Those are breasts. How much weight is on that one?
I both knew and didn't consider how much of a pain in the ass it is to draw Dratani clothing. My good God, this is simple. This is something that's technically simple.
I'd hate
just his, right?
Say again?
I'd hate to see something complex.
Oh, at some point you will.
Let's say the crazy one.
I am. You should see what his mom wears. Because she's basically the head of the clan. So, she's got a bunch of shit.
Okay. do not have time to fry the chicken. Let me look at my list of recipes. See which one I shall do. Beep beep. Thank you, sir. Dude, is Niblet sleeping again?
He snuck off to sleep.
Are you sleeping again? You are. You're sleeping, aren't you? Hi. Hi, sleepy boy. I got you. I'm going to be making something with chicken breast. Hi. I'm trying to figure out what to make. Do you have a particular genre of food that sounds good to you?
Although it did occur to me, it kind of depends on your definition of simple.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hi, baby. I'm trying to talk to your boy.
Because the reality is, it's just a belt and collar. And these are very, quote, simple draperies on the belt and collar. They could be more.
Good.
Any requests? Okay.
And he also doesn't have a headdress on in any way, shape, or form, or chains on his horns either, so...
Just has the rings, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. He added his extra rings, but otherwise he left it pretty bare.
Do you have any requests for supper? I'm defrosting chicken breasts. No ideas for chicken breast? No complaints for chicken breast. Ooh, I know what I'll do. I think I'll do. Ooh, that'll be good. Go ask Nims if he's okay with that, because he's the only one who's talking about that. You okay with me baking the chicken in the oven and throwing some cheese over it? That's fine? Cool. Alrighty.
Actually, he probably wouldn't wear one of those, never mind.
What was that?
Oh, I was putting his arm braces on and I realized I probably wouldn't wear the one that I was trying to just about put on. Because again, quote, this is simple, quotation mark, quotation mark. So, nah, he wouldn't wear that one.
Okay. I'm going to make taco chicken breasts.
Yay, chicken breasts.
Boobs.
Did you just say boobs?
Yes.
His boobs or someone else's boobs?
I said chicken boobs.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the chicken part, I'm sorry. But you is correct.
Chicky boobs.
I think I have the angle of that one wrong.
You're like, I think I have the angle of that one wrong, and my brain goes, she has the angle of the chicken boob wrong.
That's where my head went to.
Fantastic. I am not alone. Okay, sorry, I'm running some water, so.
You do what you gotta do.
If you need me to, I can always mute, so. I just neglected to, clean this can the last time I used it. And so, that's cleaned out now.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that my skillet works great, I'm a terrible skillet mommy.
What about your skillet?
My skills work great, despite my being a terrible skillet mommy. I am the proof that skillets are durable as shit.
Yeah.
They're durable as fuck.
Oh wow, I haven't saved this whole time.
Oh no, save.
I should probably do that. Okay, that has been saved now.
Best plan. Oops, sorry, excuse me, baby. What's the matter? What happened? What happened? Did you get booted? Yes, you got booted, you crazy fat face. Fat face.
Yeah, whoops.
Did you want me to pick you up? Okay.
Lol.
Hi, Biggin.
Kitty, go pick me up.
I think it was just that he expected that I would, and he's like, why didn't you? It's not even like he really likes being picked up. He just accepts being picked up. Yeah. Okay, but why though? Oh, but what? What's the matter? I picked you up. You've had pets. I can see the food bowls from here. There's nothing you need in that drawer. Not a thing. I promise you.
Not a thing.
I promise you, sir.
He says it's box shaped. He needs to get in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's round.
All right. Well, it is still a thing that must needs be in. Don't mind me taking some more nut bites. I don't know why, but this made me think of this
Sure,
thing
do
that
you
Donna
mind?
sent me of apparently a factoid about lions, which is that if a male lion fails to appease one of his lionesses, she might just bite him in a particular spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I have seen that too.
And I just thought that was
inform him
hilarious.
of her displeasure. She will very distinctly inform him the color of her displeasure. And the color of her displeasure is chomp.
It's nummy num num.
Did you see the other thing that my dear sweet husband sent us in SCP? The reindeer one? The fact that you're saying tells me you did not see it.
Probably not. There's several things it looks like that he sent that I haven't had a chance to look at yet.
Yeah, he has been prolific today.
Yeah.
He's obviously been a little bit bored. The thing that he sent is apparently in a specific culture they herd reindeer.
Uh-huh.
And as with any other cattle type animal, you will capture and castrate young males to create steer,
Mm-hmm.
Non-breeding steer, so because they're easier to get. It's easier for them to get fatter, and so it is beneficial to castrate them. Not to mention they're more docile because they don't have, you know, all that extra testosterone running through them. It is specifically the women's jobs to castrate these creatures.
Okay.
The reason that it's on the subreddit that it's on, which is That Was Unexpected, is because of the method she uses.
Please don't tell me it's her teeth.
Oh yes, it is very much so her teeth.
Why the fuck is that necessary?
Like, she just chews the fuckers off, and I'm like...
They have blades! Why is that necessary?
You know...
I know you
don't
can't answer the
know.
question. I'm just sort of shouting it into the void at this point. Holy shit.
No, I'm very with you on that. Like, I guess it's some sort of traditional thing that they've always done it that way, and apparently they like think that it is better that way. That is the most efficient or most humane way to do it. The most effective. Yeah, no, the man gets the deer, you know, the reindeer wrangled down so that it's on its side and grabs one of the legs and picks up that leg, and she just nuzzles right on in there. And I'm like,
good God.
yeah.
We humans just do such strange things sometimes, you know what?
Oh, weird! We are such weird creatures.
We are.
It's not weird as fucking shit, man. So, that was my daily dose of what the fuck that my husband sent me.
So, are you off work, Frankie?
Yeah, I got the day off.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I do.
Well, how you got the day off is now you only have one job.
Well,
Oh yeah, that would be how.
See, this is why it's great to have you around.
One job.
You remind us of those things that we forget to think about.
Well, she's probably just so used to having the two jobs, like it doesn't really register.
I'm used to bouncing back and forth like a damn pinball.
Exactly.
Yep, I remember those days. Sometimes I wonder if I would prefer going back to those days.
Well, if you didn't have your home-based
Situation.
responsibilities, it would probably be vaguely less stressful to have a 9-to-5 and do art in your off time when you felt like you had enough energy to, as opposed to do art in a way to try and make money, because doing art to try and make money is very stressful.
That's true.
I mean, it can be ridiculously rewarding, but it is very stressful.
Absolutely.
So it is not from a place of like mocking or belittling that I say this, but yeah, like there is a real chance that you might enjoy having only the problems of dealing with a job and your own bills and shit like that, as opposed to dealing with the shit that you're currently dealing with. Decided that today was the day I was going to wash 2 out of the 4 burners.
Mm-hmm.
already heated up one of the burners, so I can't clean that. I'm going to clean around it.
On another note, one of the reasons I love digital so much is all the random cool resizing things that you can do.
Right? So neat. Like, seriously.
Excuse me.
And moving, and squishing, and turning, and all that jazz.
Yeah, digital looks more convenient, but I still prefer my hand paintings.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there is something nice about there is cool things in both. Oh Lord. Both situations.
Bless you.
Yeah. Thanks.
I know.
Yeah. She just says bless you when I hiccup because there's not a good thing to say to acknowledge that the person's hiccuped. My husband's reaction is, "Are you okay?" It's not like they hurt me. In fact, the fact that I made a noise means that they didn't hurt me. Because when my hiccups hurt is when I don't manage to open my mouth, and so all that pressure remains inside. In kind of like a little airlock situation. And that fucking sucks. So I'll frequently say if I could never make that noise again, I wouldn't, but that also comes with the caveat of I do not want to go back to where every time I hiccup it's painful. Which used to be the situation before my body said, no, fuck that noise, we're making the loud noise instead.
We're doing loud noises. We are relieving the pressure in the system.
The body just goes, you know what? No. No, we're not tolerating that shit. We're doing this instead. Don't you hate it when you get a song stuck in your head, but you don't get the whole song stuck in your head? You get like one chunk of verse or one chunk of chorus, and so then that little chunk of the song plays in your head. You can't get the rest of the song into your head so that you can play the whole song in your head.
Oh, I hate that with a passion. You have no idea.
I love doing that.
I think you do.
I love it when that happens.
You like having that happen?
Well, yeah, because then I sing it out loud and make it everybody else's problem.
Fair.
That's one way to do it.
And most of the time it'll be like meme or Vine songs that they use in like the TikToks or something. And most of my coworkers don't know shit about any of that. So they'll just be like, I don't even know where the hell this song is from. Damn it, Frankie.
That's hilarious.
The one that used to live rent-free in my head was, Oh No. Fucking love that one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Like, I legitimately do like that song for some reason. I cannot tell you why I like it, but I do like that song. And it did used to live rent-free in my head. If you could please get to where you're supposed to be, that'd be great. Alright, cool. Fausty, as you so love being called.
Only by a certain plant witch.
Only.
Even then, I think it's probably a little bit like, okay, dear.
Wee bit. Yes, I love you too. Stop that.
until I can actually pick up the grate. That's significantly better than it was. Not perfect, but better. Ooh, if I'm gonna do rice, I should probably get the rice started.
I just read the thing you sent me, Frankie. That was funny. I can't say it. I mean, I can say that. I can probably say that. I think I can say that.
I love how much confidence you have about whether or not you can say that.
I mean, I did talk about the lions, so, and you did, let us know that there is a reality that exists for some people on this planet as of right now, this very day, where the ladies...
Where they bite off a reindeer's dick by giving them a blowjob.
Not quite.
I mean, technically she's just sucking on his nuts, but...
not wrong, though. So long story short, the concept was during pregnancy hormones, Tara threatens to rip a certain appendage off with her teeth.
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
Which, let's be fair, technically she could.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I actually have, believe it or not, I have to think about that. She might. She might could.
Here's the thing. I do not disbelieve that she absolutely could. I also do not disbelieve that Faust would look at her and say, "Darling, you'd miss it."
He would.
That flew over my head. What?
She would miss.
She's threatening to bite it off, and he's like, "Darling, you'd miss it."
Because he would jump out of the way?
No, like she would miss.
She couldn't get stiff legless anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
You would miss it, as in you would... Okay, I
Like,
thought you meant
you
miss
would-
as in you would dodge, or like you would fail to catch, not miss as
okay,
in...
I get where you
that's
got
where my
where
brain
you
was
got
going.
that.
Okay, now
lost.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good argument.
Yes.
My dear, you wouldn't really want that. That is not actually something that you would want to happen. Yeah. Accurate. I'm gonna leave his face alone, because I was sitting here thinking, do I need to mess with this any more than I already fucking have? I'm gonna say no. I'm just going to say no to that question. Because reasons.
Because reasons. I don't clean off my stove nearly frequently enough, so it's nice to actually see the black parts looking black instead of gray.
Right. What's the stabilization I have on this? 40? You're not serious. Wow, this thing sure does flow good for having 40. Damn.
Now, for the uninitiated, is that a high number or a low number?
That is a high number. So with your digital tools, you have a stabilization rate that you can set on the tool. So you know how sometimes when you see like the most obvious way that you can see that stabilization is there is when the lines are super duper smooth, and or when someone goes to make the lines, the line takes a little bit longer than you would think for the to populate past the tool mark, if that makes any sense. So like the line is slower to appear after you've drawn it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's normally the case for the pens or whatever that I'm using. And the lower your stabilization, not only the shakier the mark, because it's going with the actual like the exact movements
it's not reducing the noise of you moving the way that you move.
Exactly. So not only do you see a shakier line, or a less even line, or less smooth line, you it also moves faster as a result because it
Yeah.
doesn't have to calculate. This particular pen that I have, I thought I just had it on a 20, which makes it smooth but allows it to move a little faster and makes it where the line does bend a little easier. You know, it can be a little bit more wavery. But in fact, I have it at a 40. And that just surprises the dickens out of me because this thing moves like really nicely and really fast, but yet it's also, you know, got that, I don't know, there's just apparently some differences between this particular tool and the one I normally use, I guess.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Weirded me out.
It's just not what you expected.
Absolutely not what I expected.
Okay. The question is, how much rice should I make?
All the rice.
I think I'm going to do it's dry. I do 1-to-1 on my liquid for cooking the rice. Or nearly that. Maybe I won't quite cheese rice it.
I just realized earlier how I said Faust's mom as if you don't know her name. Be granted, I think Frankie might be the only one who currently knows her name.
Don't ask me to pronounce it.
Morgotha.
Like I said, do not ask me to pronounce it.
Very interesting. Like those born and raised at the right hip, the Dratani have weird names and words to pronounce. Like the school that Tara said that she went to. I can technically say that, but I have to think about it for a long while and prepare my mouth to make those noises.
I still find it hilarious that my mom absolutely 100% if you put a gun to her head and tried to make her roll her R's, she would die. Absolutely 100% could not roll her R's and tried and could not figure it out.
Yeah, same.
Really? You can't roll your R's?
No, I can't.
Really? I always find it fascinating because my mom never could, but both my sister and I have no fucking problems with it.
Okay, I don't know why this is giving me a problem, but I'm just literally ignoring his fangs right now. Fuck your fangs, Faust.
Where is the lid? Where did the lid go?
That
Why
would
is
be a
the lid
very
gone?
good question.
Yeah, especially being that I'm cooking fucking rice. I don't need that shit. Luckily, you can always use a bigger lid. It is highly unrecommended, but it fucking works. The reason it's not recommended is it's a glass lid.
Right.
Too goddamn bad, though. Okay, are you finally defrosted enough for me to actually peel you apart? I think you are. God, you're so big ass fucking boobies. Aren't you so big? Some of these chicken breasts are just fucking fucking enormous.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're just fucking immense. This is one that's like my hand is smaller than this fucking chicken breast.
Has anyone noticed that? Like, good gosh, it almost seems like they're giving us turkey breasts instead.
Right?
Like, how big are these chickens?
These are not the biggest chicken breasts that I've ever seen.
I believe it. I believe it.
You remember
Probably
me
not the
telling you-
biggest I've ever seen if you were to send a picture of them. Like, good God. There was one, I swear it was half a turkey.
So, when I was younger, and living at home, my stepsister, who was a farmer, got her first chickens. Did not know that chickens are dumb enough to eat themselves to death.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dumbasses.
so she did at-will feeding with them
Oh no.
and lost several chickens because they straight up ate themselves to death.
Why are they
Panicked,
that dumb?
found out what was going on, and realized that it wasn't that there was any sort of disease or anything like that going through her chickens. It was that she was overfeeding them and they were just being dumb. And so she pretty much had to turn around and slaughter the rest before any of the rest of them ate themselves to death, because once they die, you can't really take them to a butcher.
Yeah.
So she had to go and get the rest of them slaughtered. So she's got this fucking batch of chickens. All of them are fucking huge, enormous fat. Just immense birds. Goddamn huge. To the point where I have seen smaller young turkeys. Hi! You are just up in my business. For why, baby? I think I'm gonna put butter in the bottom of this pan. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, no, I'm gonna put some bacon grease, because I've got too much bacon grease. You are actually... Option bacon grease.
This is turning into a larger scale picture than I intended it to, but hopefully y'all enjoy.
I mean, I almost always enjoy what you're up to, so...
Yeah, I like your art.
Got that separated out. Now...
Did I make his eye too big? No, I don't think I did.
Neat.
Just in case. You know, no. No. No, I didn't. Bitch.
Hello, fat ass. How are you?
I like how I said
cute
bitch,
and
like
fat
right as you
as
said
you
fat
are.
ass.
Yeah, like I was talking to you or something. That's pretty good.
Oh, more like almost like how we were talking to the same thing.
Yeah.
AKA your cat.
Yes, he's a fat ass, which he is. No, you don't need to get on the table here. I will pet you while you're there. You can stay on the chair. Thank you.
This is a situation for the redraw tool. Dumbass.
Yeah?
Me.
I was about to say, I didn't even do anything yet. Damn.
Headbutt. Yeah, I headbutted you. That fucker. What happens when you get on the table is I headbutt you. Headbutt. Headbutt to the head.
Oh, not that line.
Pearl in my face, bro. Why are you shedding so much?
Part of this is why I tend to just redraw the line as it is.
Your own damn self?
Yeah.
Do you mind? Sure. That's my phone. It's very difficult to look at my phone while you're chinning it.
Because overcorrecting can cause problems. Bye.
Sure. Do you mind? Sure.
Okay, I don't mind that. That's good. Alright. Now to just move that line. God! There's so many things there. Let me move it down just a tad.
She wants to move it, move it. Please let her move it, move it. Move it, move it,
Like to move it, move it. Move it! Oh, wow. I do not know how we managed to do that in sync, but that was awesome.
Magic.
Especially because we weren't actually singing in sync either.
We weren't. It's all the funnier that we managed.
Oh god, it's too close. Anyway. So you're making cheesy chicken rice? Is that what's going on?
I'm making what I like to call taco chicken, which is I take the chicken breast and I just put a shit pot full of taco seasoning on them and put them in a baking dish with some sort of oil in the bottom and bake that. And then I will put cheese on top of it. And then I'm going to make a pan of essentially Spanish rice the way that my family will actually eat it.
Yeah. Worth noting.
It is worth noting that this is not Spanish rice. This is Spanish rice a la Midwest family that doesn't understand what Spanish rice is.
Right. Dude, I don't know what it is about his fucking teeth right now. That my brain just wants to be like, get near. I'm like,
no, baby, yes, you're
you
very
know what teeth are. You know how his teeth go. Why is this a problem for you?
Or why, brain, for why? So I managed to get the hold of a second-hand cookie sheet, the type of cookie sheets I like, but it's second-hand, and it's obvious that like it got grungy. And when someone decided that they were going to donate it, they're like, okay, well, I can't donate this grungy pan. That's disgusting. So they cleaned it, but they cleaned it with oven cleaner.
Why would you clean a pan with oven cleaner?
To get the black off, because you get a cookie sheet, and it eventually gets darker around the edges. Well, they obviously didn't want to stand there and scrub the cookie sheet, and so they just spray it with oven cleaner, which will work just fine, so long as you don't do it on a pan that you can't do that to, that you're not supposed to do that to. Well, the problem is that oven cleaner works really, really well on steel pans, so long as you're just looking to make them pretty. So long as you're just trying to be like, okay, this needs to look like a steel pan, as opposed to this needs to look like something that you can cook on. So I have been having to kind of rehabilitate this pan, which means first thing I did was I washed it, scrubbed it down with a Brillo pad to get some of the oven cleaner off. Because the problem with using oven cleaner on pans is if you do not properly wash them afterwards, they'll still have oven cleaner on them. Like
Right.
you have to do a really thorough job of washing them to get the oven cleaner off of the pan. And I think people don't realize exactly how happy to be on bare metal oven cleaner really is. Like, it is so happy to be on bare metal. It's like, yeah, certainly, my friend. And so, like, every time I wash this pan, I use the Brillo pad, but I can just barely smell where the Brillo pad is taking up just that little bit of oven cleaner that refuses to be removed. And this is like the third time I've washed it.
Ow.
And I'm like, I cooked on this. I mean, I haven't cooked anything super dirty. I'm making taco chicken. Please stop, you dork.
Have you coordinated with Sam? Is this coming over today?
Oh shit, no, I had not coordinated with Sam.
Did you coordinate with Sam?
Thank you for reminding me. I'm just making this if the chicken. It's probably not enough for all of us, and Sam generally prefers his chicken fried. So
He probably just brings his stuff.
yeah, he.
But I would say coordinate with
Yeah,
him.
I will get a hold of him, babe.
That way you can, depending on the situation, make arrangements with the boys or yourself or whoever to eat the chicken. Do what the other thing you ate.
Yeah. I'm planning on making Spanish rice. So but Sam doesn't like cheese. Not like he would want. Not like he would want this anyway. Let me check to see whether this has gotten. Where's my fork? Wherefore art my fork?
In case anyone would like to know, the reason this tooth right here is slightly crooked is because that is a new tooth that grew back after Tara knocked it out with a vine.
I remember that.
That story of how that happened will be posted here before too long.
Or too terrifically long. Have I actually read all of that yet?
I don't believe you've read the new stuff that I posted in there, no. Mm-mm.
I need to actually get to that. I've been having problems with Note. Note has been giving me a bitch.
Which is fucking stupid.
Really annoying. It's been giving me a bitch of a time. I have been having troubles getting it to actually. Okay, cool. This is all the way dry. Cool. That is exactly the level of dryness I needed to turn it. Actually, we still got a half an hour. I can just come down for a pee. Okay. Yeah, luckily most of the smell of oven fumes actually from the back because they cleaner the difference from the back. So that's a benefit. Okay. Yeah.
Gotta make the tooth look correct.
In the bottom. Try my stuff in. Ooh, I need garlic. Garlic. I need a bunch of garlic. But before I do that, I need to message Sam. Best to text Sam. I don't think he's actually on. Well, I guess I could check to see if he's actually online on Discord. Usually isn't. Where's Sam? Oh, it says he's. I'm literally in progress right now.
Okay.
What's going on? Where are you? Oh, upstairs.
Yeah, I was yelling from the stairs.
You said he's asking about food?
Yeah, he just asked if he had any dinner plans to me, but I just now looked at my phone. So.
Okay.
It does look awesome, good enough.
So who's Sam?
I need to ask him whether or not.
I feel like I should know who Sam is, but at this moment in time, I don't remember who Sam is.
Sam is that. Okay, so you know how I talked about The Pest the other day? The movie?
No.
Sam is the friend from high school that we have known since high school.
Ah, gotcha. Ugh. Don't mind me forgetting to talk.
Yeah, since I'm having to.
These lines are distracting me. You're good. Of course, I always get distracted by the lines anyway, so. That's just normal. I hear the dog running around outside and it's hilarious. Like outside my room. And it's just funny because of all the thumpity thump 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 thump. As he just skedaddles back and forth. And yeah, based on like everything that we know about his sizing and all that, like a baby bundle would be approximately that big in his hand. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a baby bundle right there. That's a baby.
Tiny.
So that would probably... I just gotta think about this for a second. That... A new... you know what? That's probably not even a newborn baby bundle, actually. Could be. Baby... This is baby, I guess. So, yeah. Baby tiny. Of course, that hand is further away, actually. Yeah, because he's got quite the fucking wingspan, by the way, with his long-ass fucking arms.
Yeah, you do.
Dratani arms are, like, really big, actually, so I think I got that wrong. A baby bundle is probably more like this in his hand.
Even smaller.
Say again?
Oh, I was complaining to the garlic that just ran off, and she said even smaller.
Yes, even smaller. So that's probably loose right there.
Escape.
So you can see what. So your whole deal about she's so small. Like, yeah, he's gonna feel that way. He's like, God, this is so small. I'm gonna break it.
Yep.
It's like, Faust, you can move. It's okay. No, it's not. This is so tiny.
You can understand how critically small this creature is.
This infant is so infinitesimally tiny. I can't. You probably can't even see it. Land, let me show you.
I can't right now because I'm cooking. Having to wait to see whether or not Sam is actually going to reply to me about whether or not he is cool with what I'm making. Oh, I think he might have actually just sent me a message.
That was probably me.
It was you sending me a message. Oh. He says I can get my own food, no problem.
That is a baby bundled up. Okay.
Aww, you're a little baby.
So weedle. Itty bitty. And yes, their clothes are fireproof.
Hope so.
Right? It's part of why they rather wear their own clothes instead of, like, other made clothes. Because, yeah, you realize what I am, right? Like, that's gonna just melt. That will be gone.
Sizzle sizzle.
In fact, why am I doing those detail lines right now? First of all. Okay, let me see if I can finish his teeth. Gotta say, it must totally a freaking bitch getting these teeth compacted in the into their jaw the way that they have to when they go into their concealed form.
Probably hurts like a bitch.
Little bit.
I'm guessing it is probably vaguely uncomfortable.
It's one of those things like
It's also kind of a thing that they do, so.
it's definitely uncomfortable. Probably definitely really painful the very first few times they go to do it. They eventually get used to it to the extent that it's just a necessary evil kind of pain. Nothing that they can't handle. Luckily also they don't have too very many. It's literally just these three on each side.
Because if it was much more, it'd definitely be a bigger pain in the ass.
Oh yeah. And yeah, it's this corner right here, tilting up or down, determining generally if you can tell if he's smiling or not.
So not really something easy to see usually.
Yeah, you kind of just have to know what you're looking at when you're looking at one of them to be able to determine that's what's going on. Like in this one, oh yeah, he's definitely smiling. Kind of like a malicious grin type thing going on. Maybe. Maybe not, since it's really hard to fucking tell because it's Dratani and they all look malicious, but this one less so, mostly because he's in the middle of blowing out fire, so yeah. That. Whoosh. Anyway. That's why there's a lot of necessary inflection put on how they move their heads and how they tilt their heads, and when it comes to how they move their jaws and their teeth kind of thing, like snapping your teeth kind of thing and so on. So that's why it's important to sort of pay attention to those cues and in some way be aware of them. We'll go a little. We go a little bit more into that in the blooper, actually. I know anyone who's read a certain amount of the blurbs that I put up knows about the part where he goes and snaps his teeth at the thingy thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna rip that off your head. It's fucking stupid. He is very, 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 very not happy about that. Why is this suddenly being a problem?
Just because.
Right?
Because reasons. Oh no.
What?
My nose itches and I'm chopping garlic.
Well, that's a problem.
I am mincing garlic right now. And my nose itches so badly.
I hate that so much.
And I'm like 3/4 of the way through mincing the garlic, so there's no part of my hand that is not garlicified.
Well, that's a bit of a problem.
Oh. Yeah, that is less fun. Oh. So it turns out, I forgot that my husband is watching horror movies tonight.
Oh shit.
Yay.
So that means I will not be down there.
Yeah.
I am what is known colloquially as a pussy.
Hmm.
And do not like the horror films.
Which ones are you watching? Old school or new ones?
He told me the name of the one that he's watching, and I have no intent on watching it ever, so I've forgotten what the name is of the one that they're watching. So I am sorry I cannot answer that question for you. I genuinely do not know. They watch all sorts of horror movies. They watch the funny, stupid old ones. They watch the horror TV series. They watch the psychological, the Japanese ones. I think they watch Saw type together, so like the murder porn ones. They have a particular preference for zombies, but I want to say that tonight's fare is not a zombie movie.
Okay. I was just curious.
They like the horror movies, and I do not like the horror movies.
Hi, excuse you, sir. Excuse you. You are very much so in the way, and I love you so much.
What am I looking for? I keep looking for something, and I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for. Every time I walk away, I forget what it was that I needed.
I believe in you.
That's garlic right there. Oh, I remember now. Okay. We good.
Alright.
Looking a bowl for the garlic I'm not using in, because I accidentally smashed the whole fucking bulb. So it needs to go in a container so it doesn't fall everywhere. What's that in the floor?
That might be a bit too
Now
close.
comes the muttering part of my cooking,
Mutter.
where I do a thing that I don't do very frequently, and so I end up talking to myself a bunch
About
whether or not
it.
I'm doing it right.
I believe in you.
Yay! I believe in.
Okay.
Oh no!
I feel like that ring is fucked up. I'm gonna ignore it, but I feel like it's fucked up. I'm already spending longer on this than I actually thought I would spend on it, so. Ooh. I don't know who I think I'm fooling whenever I think I'm gonna do something quickly.
Only yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, the rest of us realize you're not going to do it with this.
Here she goes again, basically. Oh well, hopefully it's entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
It
It's
is.
fun to watch you work, sweetheart.
Yay!
forgot how thick this chunk of onion was. So, having to too noisy. Sorry about all the.
We actually can't hear it, or at least I can't.
Really?
I
am super shocked that anybody cannot hear it because it is very noisy. You said you could, Frankie?
I said I couldn't.
Oh, you couldn't? Really? Baffled. It must just not be picking up the sound because it is clank, clank, clank. And now, let's get my food. Where's my big board? Where's my big board? Yeah. No. Too hot. Yeah. Are you big enough? You are big enough.
Okay.
Don't work very well.
It's funny, it just occurred to me, it seems like he's saying, "Come at me, bitch," and it's like the worst thing that you can do is try to run at a Dratani head on.
Like he's trying to trick somebody into being stupid.
Most people are pretty good at being stupid on their own, so yeah, it probably is really easy to just trick them into doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially someone who, for some reason, maybe thinks that like it's all just a load of crock. Like, all right, come on then. I'm waiting.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
I am right
Okay,
here.
3 full cups was probably more than I probably needed, but I have a bacon and he will eat it, so not a big deal. Okay.
The fuck was that noise?
Probably me claiming bacon.
No,
Seriously.
this was
Making
outside
so
my
much
room.
noise.
That was outside my bedroom door. I'm like, what?
Is it doggo?
No. That part is weird.
Now and tomato-based products. Where are my tomato-based products? No, I have. Where's the right one? Why have the grilled chicken? I don't understand it. There it is.
Whoops.
Nope, that's gone bad. That's a bulging can. Okay, well, that might work.
Yeah, that's no good.
Nope. I guess it's going to be slightly less spicy than I'm used to. Baked tomatoes it is.
I've got some redoing to do. Whoa. Oh shit. Donna.
Did
Thank
Donna
you.
show up?
She did, and she gifted you a subscription.
Aw.
Thank you, Donna. I had seen that you'd been in chat, but because you hadn't said anything anywhere, I figured that you just wanted to lurk, so I didn't say anything. But hello. Good evening. It's getting really close to you needing to pass out. Also, again, thank you. Oh, damn. seriously, thank you. And congratulations, Lynn. You're my first subscriber.
Woohoo!
Did you see the show off of the hair shit? Don't worry if you didn't. I was gonna go ahead and put screenshots. I was gonna go ahead and put pictures in the server. So I figured not everyone was able to see it, especially because I found out that first of all the lag is like horrid apparently.
Real legit.
Real problem going on. But I couldn't get the Discord camera to work. You mean the stream was frozen until right now? Oh shit. Well, fuck.
That sucks.
Oh, whoops.
Right? I've been looking at it too, and on my end it acts like everything's fine, so...
Yeah. It kind of seems to come and go between worlds. Here's sure.
Oh, I see. Okay. It froze after you sent the message. That's also weird, though.
Yes.
That's also some weirdness. Speechless silence. I mean, a little bit. For a second, that almost happened, but thankfully I managed to recover.
Of course, I'm over here, like, mixing food, so I'm, like, not able to, like, look at stuff or do anything. It's like...
Yeah, she's cooking, so she can't even see what's going on.
I'm working on a blurb, so...
Wait, did you subscribe too?
I think so. I think I got rid of my Twitch app. Because it kept doing the feedback and all that.
Yeah.
Oh no, two different things. Donna said she's super happy to be the first. I see that now. No, I see that. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because the notification that popped up was I didn't get the notification that you subscribed. I got the notification that you gifted Lynn a subscription. So I was like, oh shit, thanks. You know, on behalf of Lynn, basically. I see it now. It finally notified me that you have subscribed, but it didn't pop up on the screen, or at least it didn't for me to see. Or maybe I missed it. I don't know. I would like to think that I didn't miss it. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch then to see if maybe that notification said both, and I just didn't look over in time to see that it said you. Okay, well, thank you again, Donna.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. But thank you. On both counts. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love you, sweetie.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Got it. Sam's on his way.
It is right. It's telling me that you are a subscriber, and it is also telling me that Lynn is subscribed, assuming that you gifted a subscription to Lynn. That is the best I can tell at this time.
4 chicken breasts. And
This is new to me too, because I've never been on this side of it. So I've always been on the other side of it. So
I do not have back talk privileges.
I will have to check the analytics, I think, afterward to see.
The people I trained was overthinking it.
Hopefully it will show me afterward. There's no reason that it shouldn't show me how many people are subscribed at that point. See, and like, for example, I don't even know how much the subscription is coming out for. Like, normally a subscription is like $8.99 or something like that. But I don't know if like the streamer sets that, or if that's just an automatic thing. Like, there's a lot that I don't know either. Like, this part of the whole streaming process is brand new to me as well.
Alright, Libby.
What I do know is being able to draw. That much I can do.
You're like, I can do the drawing bits.
Sometimes I realize that I ran into an issue with Faust's ribcage. Oh my gosh, shit. So I'm trying to fix that. It is likely something that no one else would have even noticed. But me, I realized it just a little too late. I'm like, fuck. Oh shit, that's a black line. I need a blue line. That means his clothing is going to have to alter just a wee bit as well, which is fine. I expected that. So yeah, here's Fausty. I just realized I could take that shit off and it would be a lot easier for me to see what the fuck I'm doing. The funny part of that is, Faust, take your clothes off. Is basically what that equates to.
Take it off, boy! And then Faust murders me.
Naked time.
It's naked time.
Okay. That's better. I think.
I'm on a stripper pole, then Tara's gonna be in the front row throwing ones.
Absolutely. I think I do. Hold on. I think I had determined that I've made a bit of a mistake on that one, though, which is why I think I'm overcompensating here. Bit down. I'm gonna grab all this shit. Thank you, Frankie.
I just figured out how to do it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Although seriously, y'all don't need to do that. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it immensely. Thank you.
But we love you.
I love you too. What's your thing? What? There's a lot of things that are your thing. Enlighten me. Yeah, you should be asleep.
You have to be definitely should be.
Sleep, Madonna.
I know it's hard for you to get sleep lately, which hopefully that will be remedied soon. But still.
Okay. I have to go downstairs to collect up some of the things so that I can exist up here while they watch horror movies. But that means I'm quite busy now. So, yeah.
Okay.
I love her.
Same political policies, maybe even a little bit more extreme. He doesn't seem to call that political system. So this is what we're doing.
They won't leave you alone, eh? I have one left. It has managed to leave me just enough alone. Good to know. Mine has yet to arrive. It would be worrisome if I didn't know that, you know, I don't really have anything to be worried about except for my monumental imbalance, but otherwise everything is fine. Thank you for the blurbs, by the way, Frankie. I will be reading all of those as soon as I'm done with this.
Take your time. I just get hit with ideas and go, boop, let me send those.
Boop. All the boop. But yeah, this would be more or less like what he's wearing, like in the blooper deals. In the blooper scenes, or whatever. Although, actually, no, he would have the marriage tokens on. Now that I think about it. Yeah. His would be shaped, you know, a wee bit differently, but... Soon. You know what? I can start working on that on Wednesday. Because that's gonna be fun.
That rice smells good now.
I demanded it yesterday. I will get on that yesterday then. Thought I was talking about poison ivy, Tara.
Which poison ivy? That's the question.
I still haven't figured out which outfit I want to do. I will figure that out, but why can't I do this drape correctly? Let me try the other side. Really? Really? Okay. The sexiest one.
Just put the outfits in
In the
one of
wheel
those
beside, yeah.
things. Yeah.
Actually, wait, no. Would it go higher? Shit, it might go higher. You okay?
Oh no, just sighing because I realized
Well, I'm
that
gonna ignore this for
apparently
now,
when I put my laptop back last, I neglected to actually plug it in. I put the plug next to it but didn't actually plug it in. Or someone's been using it.
Oh boy.
Someone who's not authorized to use it. Which would be part of the course for the big one.
I was gonna say, I got a feeling.
Right? It's not difficult to figure out who might have done that. Now, it is equally likely that I might have forgotten to plug it back in. But I usually plug it back in.
AKA.
So I am sus. I'm sus that he has possibly been fiddling with my shit. Which, being that he has a working laptop, and he's not supposed to be fucking around on my Steam account anyway. It's not like his Steam account's got anything on it. Because he's never actually had a full Steam account with, you know, the ability to buy stuff. I'm just like sitting here going, When they were kids, they used to get on my Steam account to play sports.
Oh, yeah.
When they were little. And the biggin has a bad tendency of deciding that he likes something and then not caring about what the consequences are, so it has always been very difficult to find a way to punish him because he just seems to view every punishment as some sort of like affront, like some unfair thing that he totally didn't cause to happen to himself, even though he caused all of those punishments, that's for fucking sure, by being the untrustworthy little turd who do all the things he wasn't supposed to do.
Like, this is literally happening because of what you did, child.
Yeah. That's
So something on Tumblr. Sorry.
You're fine.
because he has a bad tendency of doing these things and I don't always catch him. Well, he's done dozens of times and I didn't catch him, so obviously it's okay for him to do these things. No, that's the opposite of what it is. This is not how this works. This is not how any of this works. But he was...
What?
Really,
where?
so.
I heard what you said, but also Donna said that she's found a way to call bog bog without just saying the word bog. Which is, there's this name called bog trotter, which basically means Irish person. So something bog trotter equals bog.
Hey, bro. Have you been fiddling with my my laptop?
Hooray!
Okay.
Oh.
I've been asleep most of
Well, I recognize that you've been asleep most of this time, but I mean, like, in the last couple of days, have you fiddled with my laptop? Because it was unplugged, and I don't remember leaving it unplugged, so that's why.
I remember fucking laptop was me taking it downstairs.
Yeah, okay. Well, it is perfectly possible that I forgot it unplugged, so I was just asking if you've been messing with it or something.
Well.
But what caused me to laugh on Tumblr just now, I saw a post where somebody was like, Hunchback of Notre Dame and
Super
Owl House
Dad.
crossover.
Thank you again. All the heart hands. I love you. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just saw somebody talking about an Owl House and Hunchback of Notre Dame crossover,
Uh-oh.
where if fellows fell in love with a witch, he'd definitely sing Hellfire. And guess what I immediately thought of?
Not the example I've used a million times.
Yep, I'm just like, hold on, is this Shay? Shay, damn it, what the hell?
Nope, that one's not me. You tag me in that though, and I might go on for too long about it.
Okay, bet.
I mean, you don't actually have to do that. I was just stating a random fact.
I will, in fact, tag you just because you said it.
Okay.
As soon as I find it again.
Oh, it's time for melting all the cheetahs.
Here we go.
Damn it.
You right in there till it's cooked enough. What I also find very interesting, okay, so this is real random, but it's Belos related. What I find real interesting is that when Belos attacks Blackjack, he calls out a woman's name, which I'm pretty sure is Blackjack's original owner, which was the witch.
Yeah, everyone is fairly certain
And I'm pretty certain
that Evelyn is the name of the witch that Caleb fell in love with. And everyone is also fairly certain that that is a Clawthorn ancestor.
Yes.
There's like 10 to 1 chances that it is.
Yeah.
In the favor of it being one.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be really surprised. And if it's not, I would totally fucking, totally headcanon that.
Yeah.
Relentlessly and unapologetically.
Like you are not alone. Pretty much the whole fandom is just like, yeah, yep, that's her. That's her name.
Yeah,
Evelyn Clawthorn.
Yep.
Evelyn Clawthorn.
Okay, where the hell did my phone go?
That is a wonderful question.
There it is. put it underneath the fabric.
Sound of our voices.
And
What about voices?
Oh, I was telling her to follow the sound of our voices to find the phone.
Yes.
you're coming through my headset, so
Disconnect.
Oh shit.
I
Ah!
found it. I found it. It was not too hard to find. As soon as the foods are, I'm just broiling the cheese. So as soon as the cheese is broiled, I'm going to plate up for Hubs and I, and I'm going to duck out for a minute. If y'all are still going when I am done and Sam shows up, I will rejoin.
Yeah.
But that is my phone's dying.
Yeah.
Can't do that way. Y'all heat it up, but you don't pour it. Should broil the top. Beep beep. Thank you, baby. Oh, hey, I found that lid I was looking for.
Sweet.
Put it in that crock pot.
It's almost 4, so here before too long I'll probably have to duck out. Surprised I managed to go this long.
Yeah, I was too, because it's a little bit longer than normal, ain't it?
Oh yeah. Of course I started late, and whenever I start late, which is pretty much the eventuality, I was telling Donna, it's a good thing I set my time at 12, that way I could make sure to actually be on stream by 1. Like, that's just how it seems to be going for some reason, but I'm not going to change my stream schedule, because I know the minute I change it, suddenly I'm not going to be able to stream at 1 o'clock either, so it's like, no. We're just going to have to live with being late to my own 12 o'clock stream.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, I might, maybe if I change it, but don't say anything about it to anybody.
Yeah, definitely don't tell any of your family that you've changed the time that you're streaming at.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Always?
So, get this. My grandma died last year, and I
Okay.
swear that woman was late for everything.
Uh-huh.
We always joked she'd be late for her own funeral. Guess whose casket got stuck in traffic?
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
That's
So
fantastic.
guess what she was?
Oh man, I fucking love that. That is fucking fantastic right there.
And it's hilarious. It's even more hilarious because she used to be over at the school transportation.
Oh my god.
So she's used. Yeah. So she'd be the one in charge of scheduling everything, including going around the rush hours and all that. They were transporting her in like an old retired school bus when she apparently drove whenever she first started.
Uh-huh.
Don't ask me why they thought that was a good idea. I don't know. So she
Yeah.
was literally 30 minutes late to her own damn funeral.
That's hilarious. We've always
In a school
had the
bus.
same thing about my uncle. He's still alive, but I'm looking forward to the idea that that could actually be a thing.
That's great. I fucking love it.
I mean, I don't like the man, but I'm not wishing him dead or anything. I would not be surprised if he was late to his funeral. God. was.
Unsurprising.
Heavy. Fucking heavy. Okay. Oh, now we got a spoon.
Gotta scoop this down.
A little metal spoon.
Just realized that needs to be scooted. Okay. It's probably not gonna be too long past this. Whoop, I am on the wrong layer. Like how I opened up like 4 documents aside from this one. One of them for reference actually, so technically I opened up 3 other documents and I've hyperfixated on this one the entire time.
You like that?
I just needed to know that those ones were there apparently.
Babe, do you want to come up and get your own plate?
Oh well, that's not actually accurate now, is it?
As soon as I'm actually done putting food on, I'm going to be going downstairs and take that that tub that's right there with you.
Yeah. Sam's here.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, are you guys already watching stuff?
No, he's here.
Okay. Oh, you mean like outside the door? Okay.
Ah, shit. I knew I was forgetting something. Ugh.
Niblet! Wake up, wake up. Food's up. Hey, food's up. Yes, supper, come on. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Come on in. Sorry. It's unlocked. Come on in.
I'm plating yours right now. How much rice do you want? It is taco chicken and Spanish rice.
What? Hey, Sam.
Put a little bit too much water in there, so the rice is pretty stiff, but could be tasty. If you want sour cream, we have dip, so it's sour cream with onions and garlic in it.
I'll take some of this.
Okay, hold on. I'll open up the other box, because got 2 of them.
Open. Sitting here doing this, and I'm just sitting here like, why didn't I just fucking do it with the marriage collar and shit?
Because you were gonna do that next.
Yeah. Like, why didn't I do that?
Thanks, dear.
Hey, food for you.
I guess just to show a general idea of what, like, just a standard run-of-the-mill type thing is to be expected.
Give us kind of a base reference.
Yeah.
Almost lost that down behind. So, all right. It is now officially food time. I will talk to you folks later.
Okay.
Bye.
Have good food. Bye.
Nom, 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 nom.
Knife?
Knife? You need sharp knife?
Knife.
Chop my chicken.
Chop your chicken? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to duck out of the call real quick.
Alright, your head over there.
There we go. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, but it's gonna be so pretty when it's done. Drawing Morgatha in that thing that I told you that she wears. I don't know what to call it. I guess a bead shawl would be like the more appropriate way to say whatever that is. But yeah, it's so fucking pretty, but oh my god. So many beads.
Oh yeah, the amount of detail and all that's gonna need.
Ugh.
Ooh.
I mean, luckily with the addition of the bead tools that I have accumulated, it's not so bad, but those are a lot of lines either way. A lot of lines that have to be drawn. Also, I don't remember if I got around to mentioning it or not, but the way the Dratani see is also kind of different.
Before. Never really went into details, but just mentioned that they had a different way of seeing.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, you know how they talk about the difference between like how dogs see compared to how like cats see and how humans see kind of thing? They just sort of see things on a bit of a different spectrum. And I haven't worked out the finer details of how to describe how they see yet.
You just know it's a certain way.
Yeah. Like I'd have an easier time, potentially I'd have an easier time illustrating it than actually saying it. Which means naturally, of course, that affects how half-bloods see. AKA people like Hetty.
Because she does have a hybrid sight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think in the picture you showed, her eyes were more Dratanic than Witch, so wouldn't she have eyesight to like theirs too?
It'd be a mix, basically. Kind of like if you see a picture that's been sort of desaturated. Well, the colors are still there, but they're not like all there because it's been edited a little bit. So it's kind of like that. Like she sees in both ways without like having to change anything, but loses a little bit from both aspects, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's not fully seeing black and white like a dog or cat would, but it's also not seeing in full color like we would.
Yeah. Yeah. that like that. I might have to just do this part in color.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna complain.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do that in color. But yeah, there he is so far. And the lines, anyway.
Kara gets all the luck.
Right? Heckin' yeah. Let me flip it real quick just to see. There might be a few minor inconsistencies with angle, but nothing major that anyone else is going to notice or care about. So I'm not going to mess with it too much. Let me see. Yeah. I think I am going to go ahead and call it here because it's just after 4 and I am pretty sure that I should have been called by now, so I don't know what's going on. It's a little weird though.
Alright, well, you be careful, hon.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you too. Get some sleep, maybe.
I promise nothing. It's
No
only
promises.
7 o'clock here.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't he though? I don't know if Lynn can hear, but...
Probably not, but she'll watch it later, maybe. Or something like that, I don't know.
Maybe. Alright, well again, thank you so much for hanging out, I appreciate it. And thank you again
No
for
problem.
subscribing. And thank you, Donna Belatedly, who's going to watch the rest of this, for doing the thing, for subscribing as well. And subscribing Lynn.
And giving Lynn one.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys, really. I appreciate it.
No problem, hon. You deserve it for all the work and stuff you do.
But yeah.
Lord knows I would not have that much patience.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I say the same thing about like the shit that Lynn does. I'm like, I don't know how you do any of that crafty shit. I couldn't sit there and do that while I sit here for like 3 hours. Hold on. 3 hours and 18 minutes working on this.
Yeah, I don't know how either of y'all do it. I sit for maybe 2 hours to draw my little hand paint or paint my hand paintings, and that's it.
Hey, it looks cute though. Can't wait to see more. You're gonna do more, right?
And maybe. I gotta wait till my hands stop shaking so much. Only reason I was able to do that is because it was a simple design and all that.
Yeah.
And because I had just taken the medicine.
There you go. Well, I definitely can't wait to see more of that. Go heavy on the glow in the dark and the black light stuff, because that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is. That's why I saw those paints, and I'm just like, I don't care if I can't paint right for another month. Let me get them damn things.
Fuck yeah.
Because in a month, they ain't gonna be there.
Exactly. Get them while they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, let me go ahead and... boop. There's that. Thank you for all the lurkers, by the way. Big Preach, hope you had fun. That was Faust. And we're gonna see more of that. Also, it's a good thing I stopped where I did, because I'm realizing that there's a little bit more editing I need to do to the bottom half. But anyway. Not that part. But anyway.
That combined with some of the stuff we were talking about earlier, guess what?
Right? Oh boy. Like I said, I'm really happy I marked this as an adult-oriented stream. Finally. Alright. But yep, talk through text. Take it easy. I will talk at you later. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.